and just answer the biggest question that I get. And it's also a question I see when I'm just like scrolling social media when it comes to the healing space. And that is, where do I start with healing? Because a lot of people just don't know. A lot of people think they can't be healed. And I want to say that's absolutely not true. You're not broken. You're not damaged. You're not too damaged to heal. You don't have to settle. You don't have to be where you have the thought process of, this is just how I am. So much has happened. I've been like this for so long. You don't have to do that. You can heal, and you can heal and get to a better place in life and start experiencing life in the way that you truly desire. Because I know you have dreams and you even fantasize sometimes about the life that you want to live. And it doesn't have to be a fantasy. It can actually be a reality. So I wrote down some steps that I want to share with you. And these are some things that have come up with my coaching program, as well as in the 5-day challenge. And with these steps, I will just say that I can give you these steps, but they're not something that you can do. I'll do one on Monday, do one on Tuesday, do one on Friday. Healing happens in baby steps, and it's within those baby steps where you start to experience massive transformations. And when you start having these massive transformations, then you start having quantum leaps in healing, and you find that some days you're taking baby steps forward. You might even take a few steps back, and then other days, next thing you know, you have this major aha moment, this major moment of clarity. And then you feel, you can tell you're in a different place in your life because you've moved forward in your healing. So the first step, the first thing you need to do is make a conscious decision. So let me talk about what I mean by conscious decision. So a lot of what we do, over 90% of what we do, is in our subconscious mindset. This is the part of our mindset we're not aware of. Our subconscious mindset is actually framed by our experiences in life. So if you have experienced trauma on the different levels, your subconscious mindset is going to frame those things. And this can be things like the belief. So what is your belief system? A lot of times we have limiting beliefs based on the things we've experienced, or based on the things we were taught when we were growing up. So let's talk about relationships, because I know the relationship space is huge. And I do help people heal from, I help women, primarily high-performing women, heal from relationship trauma, or if they've experienced trauma that's keeping them in unhealthy relationships, I help them heal from that. So let's just use relationships as an example. If you were raised, or if you saw a relationship where your parents, or maybe whomever your caregivers were, they argued all the time, or they just didn't have communication, or maybe, you know, you have that traditional, super traditional, they have that, what am I trying to say? Super traditional relationship where the father was primarily the financial provider, and that's it. He wasn't emotionally available. He didn't show up. He just made sure the money was coming in, and your mother took care of the home, but there was not an emotional connection there. Then for you, you might think, oh, that's how relationships are supposed to be. Disclaimer, I'm not pointing a finger towards your parents, because that's not what this conversation is about. We can have a whole nother discussion about childhood healing and how that presents based on when you're a child and your parents and all that good stuff. But you now have a limiting belief of how relationships are supposed to be. And I say limiting because for you, you might not think anything beyond that is normal or good, or, you know, my parents stayed together for 50 years. So if we do it like this, we're going to stay together for 50 years. That's going to keep you from experiencing a different type of relationship, because the reality is you do need that emotional connection. And there's reasons why some relationships were able to flourish during that time compared to now. And we can go through the societal expectations of emotional availability. You know, now we're more aware of that. But if you were in a situation where you saw your parents where they were arguing all the time, or they just didn't know how to communicate, you might not know how to communicate, or you might not know that you need to communicate in a relationship or know how to communicate in a relationship. So there are limiting beliefs that are formed subconsciously, which means you're unaware of it. You may not even be aware that you're doing it. You don't realize it. And that starts forming, your thoughts start forming feelings, okay? And then your feelings start forming actions. Actions form behaviors. Behaviors form your life. So it starts with your subconscious mindset. So to start your healing process, you have to make a conscious decision. Be aware of the decision that you make, because a lot of times, a lot of you are like, I know I need to heal. I need to start healing. And then it stops there. You say it, but you haven't made that conscious decision to start the healing process. So that's the first step with healing, is making that conscious decision, okay? The next thing you need to do is you have to address your mindset, because mindset is everything. Everything you do, why you do what you do, how you react to what happens in life, it all goes back to your mindset. And just like I said, with that subconscious formation that you've, based on your experiences in life, your mindset is also forming things. So you've got to reset your mindset. And then when it comes to our society, we have so much stimulation coming in. We have stuff coming in from social media. So I know you're on social media because you're watching me right now. If you're someone who watches the news, I can only imagine what you're taking in. TV, if you're someone who likes to watch certain shows or certain things, like if you're watching Snapped all the time, let me tell you, it's doing something to your brain. If you listen to certain types of music, you know, like we used to have love songs back in the day and everything, you know, now it's all about struggle love. And if you're someone who already feels a certain way about relationships, you're already dealing with, you know, pain from a relationship, or you're going through a divorce, or, you know, you're going through a breakup and you want love, but you have this pain, and you start listening to struggle love music, it's just going to feed into that trauma, right? So you have to do a reset, a mindset reset. You know, you've got to separate yourself from certain things, from certain people, okay? The next thing you need to do, step 3, is eliminate old beliefs and old habits. A lot of you have habits, and like we talked about beliefs and how your belief system is formed, but your beliefs and habits are keeping you in that same cycle of preventing you from healing. So let's talk about the fact that you might be around certain people who contribute to your mindset, who contribute to your thought processes, who say things like, oh, relationships, you're just going to get hurt. And because you were hurt in a relationship, you're like, yeah, that's true. Or, you know, I don't need to, you know, commitment is a man-made concept. You know, we can go into lifelong debates about that, but the reality is, you know, there are benefits to commitment. And I'm not just talking about commitment to a relationship. I'm talking about just commitment, period, where you're committing to yourself, and then you commit to certain things in your life, okay? And those can also contribute to a healthy relationship. But if you're around people who have a thought process that talks against that, and you know deep down you want a relationship, and you know you need to heal so you can have one, you're going to stay stuck, all right? So you have to start separating yourself from the old beliefs and the old habits that are keeping you stuck, and even the old places. There's certain places that you might go that feeds into that trauma, that feeds into that old belief system, and you've got to stop showing up there, and you've got to change all that. Okay, number 4, you have to create your authentic self-identity. Yesterday, for day 1 of the challenge, I talked to ladies about how your trauma and we went through the different types of trauma, how your trauma contributes to your current self-identity, because you're forming your self-identity based off of your experiences. So you've got to do the healing to separate your identity from the trauma, and you've got to become authentic. Authentic means you, your own unique self. So if you are someone who has not shown up for yourself in an authentic way, you search for validation, you're a people pleaser, you're a giver, you put other people ahead of you, you don't consider your own happiness, You don't stop to make yourself a priority. You don't make your well-being a priority, your health a priority. You push through things, whatever. You most likely do not have an authentic self-identity, okay? Because you are in the mindset of doing, going, doing for others, making it happen, living life, and you have not taken the time to stop to create an authentic mindset. So that is step 4 of your healing journey. And step 5 is you have to be intentional and show up, because you can go through all the videos you want, you can read all the books you want, you can come through to my mentorship program, somebody else's mentorship program, you can go to therapy, you can sit and learn all of this. But if you don't take what you've learned, what you've become aware of, and put it into action on a daily basis, then it was all just information that you've gathered, and you're going to stay stuck. You're not going to heal. So it's very important that you become very intentional. And that's where manifestation comes in. Manifestation isn't just about the fact that you think of something and then it comes to you. There's action that takes place behind manifestation. If you want to buy a house, you're not going to sit there and think about it and visualize and meditate and write it down and then just go on about your business. There are steps you have to take to purchase that house. You've got to get pre-approved, you've got to find a realtor, you've got to actually look at the different houses. You've got to go through that whole process. Same thing with creating your life that's healed. You don't just have the thought and the visualization, you take action. And that is one of the reasons why I've created this 5-day challenge, because it's an opportunity for you to start taking action when it comes to your healing. You're making that conscious decision. You're working on your self-identity. You're showing up. You're doing the things that you know you need to do to close that gap, overcome your blocks, and start your healing journey and move forward and get unstuck. So if you are interested in joining the 5-day challenge, like I said, today I finished day 2. The replays are up, they're available. So you can join and you can catch up. They'll be available until Tuesday. They won't be available forever. It is a free challenge. Let me know, send me a DM saying that you want to be in the challenge. If you're on my social media right now, just go to my bio, hit the link, but don't do it yet because I'm not done talking to you, but go to the link and you can register, and then I'll let you into the group where the free trainings are happening so you can watch everything and catch the lives. If you have been following me and you know that you're interested in working with me and you want to learn more about my mentorship program, which is 6 months long, please reach out to me and let me know, and we can get on a call and we can talk about how you can get started. And if you are the right fit for the program, and if I am the right fit to be your coach, because I believe 100% in being authentic and in being in alignment. And just like you aren't for everyone, I'm not for everyone. And if we find that we're a match, we can start working together. But if you're not, I know many coaches who may be a match for you if I'm not, and I can refer you out. So I hope this helped. I hope I've given some clarity on how you can start your healing journey. If you'd like some help, reach out to me. So I want to wish you all lots of love, lots of peace, and many, many blessings. Have a good night.